Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead Season 11, Episode 10, and the trailer for this episode. I am super excited for this episode and this entire season. We still got a lot of episodes left because we still have a whole part 3 left, but I'm very excited for part 2 because they did a wonderful job with the premiere and setting up the rest of this part or this season. I mean, I don't know what part 3 is gonna be about, but at least this part of the season with the Commonwealth arc, because, well, I guess I should start off by saying spoiler warning in case you have not seen episode 9. So far, episode 9 has only aired on AMC Plus for the early premiere. So if you have not seen it early on AMC Plus, spoiler warning. Once you have seen the episode, then you can come back to this video where we will be talking about episode 10, the trailer, and then obviously talking about episode 9. Connecting things from that episode to this trailer. I gave the spoiler warning. But yeah, at the end of episode 9, we saw that Daryl and Maggie have split sides. And Daryl is now with the Commonwealth, and Maggie is at the hilltop, continuing to live the way that her and her people lived. We don't know. I don't really know who else is like split. I don't know if like half the group is with the Commonwealth, half the group is with the Hilltop, but it does seem like the group will split up. But the fact that Daryl and Maggie split up is sort of insane to me. But not only that, like Daryl's whole attitude during that moment in that episode, he was like yelling at Maggie to open the door, like they were really on complete opposite ends, like almost like enemies, which is kind of scary to see, these characters go through. But we're going to see that happen in these upcoming episodes. So I'm very excited about that. So this trailer gives us our first look at the group at the Commonwealth. So we're going to break down a lot of the stuff in this trailer. Obviously, like I said already, general spoiler warning. And then also, if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to hit the subscribe button because we have a lot of content coming up Walking Dead related. But yeah, so getting into the trailer, you can see Daryl, Judith, RJ, they're walking around the Commonwealth area. You can already see like how different things are. Like they have like a petting zoo here. I believe they have like they're having like a Halloween party in this episode at the Commonwealth. So that's the time of the year. It's October, which is something The Walking Dead has never really focused on. Like the time of the year, like yeah, we know because of the weather and stuff like that, but they've never really like done holidays and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting that they chose Halloween. Because it's fitting with The Walking Dead being a horror TV show and everything. But yeah, so we have some dialogue from the characters as well. So like Daryl has a voiceover. Like it takes a minute to get used to all of this, and you can see him walking around. You can see a lot of people. I think there's like a little festival, party going on. People are clapping. You can see people are in costume. You can see Pamela here. This kid is in a costume. So, so a lot different than anything you've ever really seen before, like Daryl has said. You have Daryl and Carol talking here. And Carol's like, maybe we don't have to do anything to make it work. And Daryl says, there's always something you have to do to make it work. So, they're being a little suspicious of the Commonwealth. It's interesting that Daryl's the one who says that, like, there's always something you have to do to make it work, and he's the one who's going to end up being a Commonwealth soldier, which is going to be really interesting to me, because, like, I want to see how they convince Daryl to join and why Maggie doesn't want to join, right? Like, or, like, at least half and half, because I'm assuming there's probably other people living with Maggie at the hilltop. It's not just her. So I'm really interested in seeing what happens, like, maybe Daryl is just tired of, his old, communities and stuff like that, or, maybe he sees that this community is powerful or whatever. Maybe they offer him something good. I don't know. I really have no idea, but they're going to be convincing Daryl somehow. So Carol is also going to have a very interesting arc. So you can see Lance here. You can also see the Halloween decorations. She's kind of watching Lance. She's also suspicious of Lance. So I'm interested, and we're going to see her be suspicious throughout the trailer. And I love that for Carol's character because it fits, like she was doing the same thing in Alexandria when when they came there. Like she was suspicious of them. She was sort of like she was hesitant, I guess, to give up her belongings as well, I remember. So it definitely fits for her character. And really, I have no idea who's going to join who. Like, that's also a little interesting thing to think about, because, like, we only saw Daryl and Carol. Or, excuse me, we only saw Daryl and Maggie. Maggie at the hilltop, Daryl a Commonwealth soldier. But I don't know about anybody else. Like, if Carol's going to be out, spying on them, maybe she finds out that they're not good people. And she decides to, join Maggie. But it's still, I guess it kind of depends on, everyone's own perspective, like whether or not they trust the Commonwealth, whether or not they think the Commonwealth are good people. Like I would imagine that everyone sort of is also being treated differently. Magna was talking about that earlier in a previous trailer. And she's also going to talk about it again in this trailer. We'll get to that in a minute. But people are also treated differently. There's like a class system here. So maybe that also has part to do with it. But anyway, so Carol is kind of like, spying on Lance and the Commonwealth. You got Mercer here. He's talking to everybody. It seems like maybe these are the people who are being trained to be soldiers. Rosita definitely is somebody who knows how to fight, so it's not surprising that maybe they want to train her to be a soldier. You got Daryl in the background, so we'll see how they figure it out. Maybe I would assume that you would know how to fight and stuff like that, given that Rosita and Daryl are here. So maybe it's just like the people who are fighting, maybe they volunteer to be soldiers, or maybe, they find out that these people know how to fight. Because it wasn't Rosita, I remember in season 7 she said something about having some military background, so stuff like that. Like maybe they find out more about these characters, they'll determine who should be a Commonwealth soldier and other jobs around the Commonwealth. And like I said, like, I've been talking about this since episode 9, like Daryl joined the Commonwealth, but who knows, maybe he has no choice, like maybe he has to be part of the Commonwealth. But just based on his tone and him yelling at Maggie, it made it seem like it's really like what it was really him, like when he was part of the Saviors, like, or he was like being forced to be, with the Saviors, he didn't act like that. So that's why I'm kind of thinking that maybe he does want to be with the Commonwealth. We'll see. But yeah, so you got Rosita here, fighting some walkers or something. So Rosita, she had a good episode 8. Before episode 8, there wasn't much going on with her this season, so hopefully, there's some more there with her. There's like you got Magna here, and this is what I was talking about earlier, or a second ago, when she says about, she says this place is like a city from before. People who can't fit in get cast out. So that's what I mean. Like maybe, the Commonwealth are treating people who can benefit them very well, and then other people are not being treated very well. And you can kind of see that, with like Yumiko, like she's being treated very well, opposed to like some of the other people, who joined at the same time as Yumiko, like Eugene and Ezekiel and Princess. Well, we haven't seen too much of Ezekiel. I know, like in the trailers we keep seeing Princess and Eugene and like locked up, but I don't really know where Ezekiel is. So hopefully we see what's going on with him. But yeah, they're treating people differently. You got Lance here again. They're throwing a little like celebration or something. They introduced Pamela Milton. You got Daryl here. Pamela holding a gun. And some Commonwealth soldiers here as well. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Pamela, she looks pretty scary. So I'm, both Pamela and Lance look scary. And Lance looks like he's hiding a lot of things. Yeah, you got Daryl sneaking around, you got Carol sneaking around, so maybe this is early on. Like you can see Carol with the flashlight, it looks like she's in some basement. Daryl also looks like he's in a basement, so maybe they're just trying to like do some research or figure out what's going on. So this part is really interesting to me. Lance is talking to somebody, and he says, so you found a way to get outside the walls. What do you want from me? So this made me think of a couple things. So like, maybe he's talking to Daryl or Carol, since they're the ones who are like looking around. But when he says, what do you want from me? And, like, so you found a way to get outside the walls. Like, is he hiding that you cannot leave the Commonwealth? Like, is the Commonwealth government not letting the people leave the Commonwealth? Is it like that? It's a situation similar to like almost what the Saviors did, where you couldn't leave or something like that. Because like he's saying you found a way outside the walls, which also made me think like how big is this community that that he's surprised and shocked that somebody found a way outside the walls, and he's like offering them something like, what do you want from me? Is the and like I said, I feel like it might be Carol or Daryl, because they're the ones who are searching. But we'll see. But you guys let me know what's going on there. But that's really like fascinating to me, that if that is the case, it's fascinating to me that their community, or I don't even want to call it a community, it's like a civilization. They have like tens and tens and tens of thousands of people. Like it's so big that most people probably have never even stepped out into the apocalypse, maybe. And they probably like they aren't even bothered by that kind of stuff. Like it's stuff the government deals with. And maybe they don't want people to leave or something. We'll see. But yeah, definitely interesting stuff coming up. And then you also got you got Carol here searching through some files. So again, just sort of sneaking around. You can see she's checking her surroundings and being sneaky. So I'm super hyped to see this part of Carol again. I love it. I love seeing that. Because like I think there's a lot of tension that also could be there. The Commonwealth are pretty scary, so they have to definitely be careful and stuff like that. And then you got Pamela here. She's giving a speech talking about rebuilding the world, like brick by brick and block by block, putting the world back together the way it was. So this is like a sort of a little celebration or something. I'm not sure exactly the occasion. Maybe it's because of all the newcomers. Maybe it's like an introduction party. Who knows? But they are having some sort of party here. And then you got the Commonwealth. They come inside of some door, and they bust open the door, and they find these like posters that somebody drew or something, of like the Commonwealth name crossed out, covered in blood or paint, or I think this is probably like red paint or something. I don't know if that's blood or paint, but the point is somebody is like vandalizing maybe some Commonwealth posters. And this made me think, and I talked about this a little bit before in a previous trailer when I saw this scene. It seems like maybe some people are starting a rebellion against the Commonwealth. Like, I don't know if it's going to be somebody part of our group, like, maybe it's Maggie, or maybe it's like a group of people, probably a group of people. Or, I mean, Commonwealth, and it's something that's already going on, and maybe Maggie joins them and says, like, we have the hilltop, and they try to escape. But we'll see. And that person earlier that I was talking about, that Lance is talking to, I said Daryl or Carol because they're the ones who are searching around. But it also could be like Maggie, or it could be anybody who's part of this rebellion, and they're trying to escape. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely excited. I don't know if all of this stuff is in episode 10 itself. Because this trailer aired right after episode 9, so sometimes it's a little confusing if it's a trailer just for episode 10 or it's a trailer for like the next few episodes. But if this is the trailer for episode 10 itself, like there's a lot of things happening in this episode, and I am super excited. But regardless if it is or isn't, I'm excited for this episode and the upcoming part of season 11 part 2. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions about all of this in the comments down below. Let me know, what do you think is going on with these characters? What do you think is going on between between Maggie and Daryl? What do you think Carol is going to find? Is Carol going to join Daryl or Maggie's side? And like all your thoughts and opinions about the Commonwealth. I'm definitely excited to hear them. But yeah, as far as this video goes, I'm gonna wrap it up there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating, and for more Walking Dead videos like this, be sure to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you guys soon.